Good morning, kids. Welcome back to the class of computer. I, Miss Pooja Jiswani, is going to take your computer classes. Well, kids, in the last class, we have seen the definition of a computer and some important use of the computer. At home, how it is useful for us, even in shops and in school as well. How computer is very useful for everywhere. Today we will see some more uses of it. Can you see the picture in front of you? It is the picture of the people working in the office. Well, computers are used in office for sending mails and receiving the mails as well. Since in office there is a bulk of data, so for storing it they are using a computer. Even for doing calculations we are using the computers in office and banks as well, at railway stations and airport. Well, can you see the two people in front of you checking when their train is about to come and when it will leave? This is all done by the computer, that is keeping track of arrival and departure time of the trains. At railway stations and airport, computer keeps a track and detail. Even it shows us the time and number of seats available in a train or an airplane as well. Well, in hospital as well, computer are used. Can you see the picture in front of you? See, the doctor is testing the eye of a patient with this machine which is run on the computer. Computers are used for maintaining the records of a patient in a hospital, since there are lots of patients in the hospitals. Well, there are so many tests which have been done using the computer in the hospital. Do you know, kids, even your blood report is also been ready on the computer. Computers are used even to design the buildings, aeroplanes, clothes, etc. See, the person in front of you is designing a building on a computer. Even scientists use the computer. They used it in their search. They are also used launching satellites, weather forecasting, and etc. In all these cases, computer has been used very nicely. Next is characteristic of computers. Well, characteristic of computers. Well, a computer has a certain characteristic that make it different from other machine, even from the human. The first one is the speed. A computer can perform a large number of calculations quickly, isn't it? Yes, a computer is having very good speed. The next is reliability. But what is reliability? When you can trust on someone that it will not make a mistake, that is called reliable or reliability. A computer does not make a mistakes, as we know that. If see, the boy in front of you has done a subtraction and made a mistake in it, while the same calculation when done in the computer, it doesn't make a mistake and given us the proper answer. In this way, computer never makes a mistake, and in this way you can identify it. The next is diligence. Well, a computer never get tired. Kids, if I will tell you to write a page 10 times, the same page, you will get tired, isn't it? Yes, but if I will tell the computer to do the same, it will never get tired of the same work. It can keep working for long hours and can do the same work again and again. Well, one more characteristic of computer is that it is accurate. A computer always give correct result. Well, next we will see working of a computer. How does a computer works? Can you see in front of you there are three terms: input, processing and output. I for input, P for processing and O for output. We have one IPO cycle in the computer. In that way it works. I'll show you some images. Okay, kids, can you see the image in front of you? That is to prepare a pizza. Well, for preparing pizza, what we need first, we need some pizza base and vegetables. Yes, to put it on it. Then we need oven too to bake it. And after that, what we will get after this? Our pizza. Yes. So when you are taking pizza base, all the sauces and veggies, those are your input. Those work as your input. And when you keep it for processing and it changes, that is called process. It changes from the input, that is called process, and whatever you get at the last product, that is called a output. I'll show you one more example. To prepare a mango shake. Well, to prepare a mango shake, what we need first is mangoes, sugar and milk. Yes, and then we will keep in a mixer and process it. After processing, it gets changed from the input. Yes, so that is our output. Whatever we will get, that is our output. So kids, whatever you get initially, that works as an your input. And when you done some process on it, work on it, and it changes and it gets changed, so and turn into some different product, that is called your output. Okay, I'll show you one more example to understand it better, and that is to make a clay models. Well, this kid in the middle is trying to make the clay models. So what he is doing first, he required first is all the kids clay of different color, and then he done a process on it by pressing it, or by making different shapes, and at the last it gets totally changed. It turns into some shape, so that is called your output. So input, process, output. Understand, kids? I hope you understand it better. Now, same way in the computer. In computer also we are having IPO cycle. Which is known as input, process, output. Whatever you give instructions to the computer, that will take as an input. Can you see a keyboard in front of you? It act as an input. Even the mouse, you give a commands with the mouse as well, or sometimes with the scan, which works as an input. And when CPU does any processing on it, that works as an processing. And whatever you get on a monitor or on printer, that act as an output. In the input, you enter some data to the computer, and what CPU does, it does a processing on it, and then it shows you the output on the monitor. If even you are typing your name from the keyboard, it first goes in the CPU to process it. Okay, then it shows you the output on the monitor. So this cycle we call as a input, process, output cycle. That is called IPO cycle. And in this way, computer works. I'll show you once, kids. See here, we give input from keyboard and mouse, CPU process it, and monitor gives us the output. Monitor gives us the. I'll show you one more example, that is calculation. When you have to do the calculations on the computer, what do? You give the numbers to the computer with a plus sign. You give the numbers to the computer with the plus sign. And what a computer does, it processes it in CPU. It processes it into the CPU and gives you the desired output on the monitor by adding it all. So that is called again as an IPO cycle. In this way, computer works.